I want to announce our next speaker. Technology innovative solutions can help companies manage risk and allow to survive through crisis. How? Discover in the next talk Supply Chain Disruptions and Business Resilience in View of COVID-19 by Beata Wandachowicz-Krason, Director Supply Risk Manager and Philips. Hi Beata and welcome.
Hi everyone, welcome. Let me share my also screen with you.
Absolutely, I will leave the stage to you. Share your screen, share your smile, share your positive energy, enjoy.
No, you can definitely count on that. Just let me know when you see my screen, okay?
You can go ahead.
Wonderful, great. It's so exciting actually to be here. First of all, congratulations, Anna and the whole organizing team on this event. We talk about business resilience a lot. I think one of the options of business resilience is to move a lot of communication and events online. And this is where we are with Women Tech Global virtual conference. I'm super excited to be here today with you. And I just hope that you enjoyed it same as me. So I will speak about business resilience in view of COVID-19. And let me start with this. Recently, Harvard Business Review published an article that was on the 28th of May, so really recently, entitled "Coronavirus Could Create a Bankruptcy Pandemic." And the question is, can we foresee this? So how to foresee, manage, and respond to crisis that is happening right now? The business resilience and financial risk is exactly what my team has been working on for the last 3 years. Our prime priority and objective is to minimize the impact of companies that might be ending up in financial distress. And I will tell you more about it in a moment. But let me first share a bit of highlights. So in the next couple of minutes, you will learn more about me and why I'm here and what's my role. Also, what's the role of my company in COVID-19 diagnostic and treatment, and what kind of solutions and innovations and new technologies help us thrive throughout the crisis so far. Let me start with this. It's not a conventional start, I know, but women empowerment is definitely my topic. It's definitely one of the most critical passion for me. And 3 years ago, I started that movement, an idea of celebrating inclusion and diversity and celebrating female and diverse talents in the organization. We do it now for 3 years in Philips. This year, we celebrated on the 8th of March in 80 locations across the globe and with more than 18,000 people. I mean, you can just imagine that. Diversity and inclusion is extremely important, especially in our domain. We are a very innovative company and we need all different talents from across the globe. So this is an amazing platform also here to share that experience with you. And also, given the times that we are in right now, even more inclusion and diversity plays a role. That's not the only thing I do with regards to helping, empowering, and inspiring women. I'm also a mentor of female tech heroes here locally in our high-tech campus in Eindhoven in the Netherlands. High-tech campus is called the smartest square kilometer in Europe. I'm also a mentor and ambassador of Women for Women program, which helps expat spouses that move to the Netherlands to land in their professional careers. And I'm also mentor for early career women in Philips, where we have mentoring circles. And I have that pleasure and honor to work with talented, ambitious, fantastic women as well. There is more that I do in that respect, but this is not my major role in Philips. So my major role is I'm a director of supplier risk management in Philips. And with my previous role in finance. So in my previous role, let me start with this. I was managing supply chain finance program. I was working in international trade finance. that was already here in the Netherlands. I'm originally from Poland, but about 9 years ago, I moved to the Netherlands, also to work for Philips. I connected through Supply Chain Finance Consortium. We work with different companies and with universities on different supply chain financing models. I was invited multiple times as a speaker or a panelist in annual Supply Chain Finance Forum, annual conference. I was also a judge in inaugural Supply Chain Finance Awards and also a judge in an open RFI that we were running with banks and fintech companies on supply chain finance solutions. Now, when I moved to risk management, and that's the bottom part of the screen, I've been working on transformation of our risk program, how we manage, identify, analyze risk of our suppliers. And that program and all of those efforts are internally and externally recognized, as you see on the pictures as well. So both those pillars, supply chain finance and risk management, gave me wonderful and excellent experience that I can share with you right now. I'm representing Philips. Philips is a global medical devices company. We are very present in health tech, and this is extremely important for us. The company has headquarters in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, for those of you that don't know about that. But we are present in more than 100 countries across the globe and with more than 80,000 employees. Philips is an innovative company. We want to change people's lives through innovation. And we have that beautiful mission to impact 3 billion annually people's lives by 2030. So how that mission now can be realized in view of COVID-19? Let me do a bit of retrospection. I know we are all experiencing and we all know what exactly is happening in the world right now, but I don't know if you remember how it started. So I actually checked that specifically for you today. So today is 10th of June. On 10th of February, number of confirmed cases of coronavirus was 40,000 across the globe. 1 month later, that was 10th of March, you see it at the bottom of that white screen, that white box, it was more than 100,000. So 60, 70 of cases increase in 1 month. Now, fast forward to today, 3 months later, we see more than 7 million cases. I mean, we never expected such a magnitude of issues and the impact that it can have on people's lives physically because of the virus, but also the impact on the economy and what's actually happening as a consequence of all of the lockdowns and all of the pandemic. So what's the role of my company in this situation? We produce products, services, and solutions that can support healthcare providers, hospitals, clinics to fight against COVID-19 through our computed tomography, ultrasounds, patients monitoring, and specifically ventilators for invasive and non-invasive treatment. We can help hospitals and intensive care units to help patients that require hospitalization. And that's basically what we want to deliver. And there is such a huge demand for help. And we are so much committed to deliver on our promise. But now, how can we do it throughout crisis? So let me go to this, because that actually brings me to the topic of how we can navigate and how to be successful and thrive throughout the crisis. So what solutions help us? Number one, we need supply chain visibility. It's so important. It's definitely number one to know where we have our suppliers. I will actually ask you that question. Have you ever thought of how many components you need to build a ventilator? Now, I'm sure you haven't, but more than 650. So we need more than 650 parts, which counts for hundreds of suppliers that we have across the globe. And we need to have that visibility where exactly in which countries they are located, especially in the midst of lockdown. So you can imagine, you can see those small pictures that are at the bottom. When streets are empty, companies are shut down, country per country, company per company cannot operate. And we have this amazing demand and commitment to build and deliver devices to hospitals, like how to make this happen. We were working 24/7 to double and triple our production. But the main question for supply chain professionals, and it's not only for our company, was how can we get components in time and in the demand that we need? And that supply chain visibility became number one topic. So having that clear transparency, what we have, where we buy it from, how many suppliers we need, how critical they are, how complex they are. This is basically the fundamental questions. And we can only deliver on our promise if we have international collaboration with suppliers. Complex international supply chains require that tight and close collaboration within companies. And this is basically what was our key challenge number one, and tools that allowed us to have that visibility mapping of our suppliers definitely helped a lot. So this is number one. Number two is how can we have better risk transparency, and we need that. Maybe going back to the first question from the first slide, you can just try Google COVID-19 bankruptcies, and then you can see hundreds and thousands of news articles about what's going on in different countries, different industries, which suppliers and which companies actually fail to survive. So can we, did we know about that? Can we be prepared? We are working with Rapid Ratings. It's one of our provider. It is actually a fintech company that does financial risk assessment for our suppliers. So thanks to them, we can know what's the financial performance of our suppliers. And if there are any companies that have that trace of risk, we already know about it and take proactive actions. So we know it already before the crisis happened. And this is what actually made us stronger, because we could have insights where we should have the main attention points, where we should intervene, when we should go talk to which kind of suppliers. Are they okay? Do they need any kind of support? And manage that faster. That's not only that I actually wanted to tell you here. We not only work with Rapid Ratings on financial performance, but we also work on solutions and tools. So what you see on the screen, we've built our internal supply chain and supplier risk dashboard that we integrated through API connection with Rapid Ratings platform. So we have that instant feed of data, which is refreshed every half an hour, and then we know if there's any kind of change in financial performance of our companies that we work with, and we can also manage that. Additionally, Rapid Ratings ran a stress test that was back in end of February, beginning of March, or I think no, that was March, April, which actually was a simulation which companies can sustain through the crisis and which can suffer in terms the revenue drops and all different macroeconomic factors also change. So that also helped us at least find out already before things can happen where we need to have the key attention. So those kind of fintech solutions, new innovation definitely helps a lot as a second step in our risk management. And that leads me to the third point. So once we know where we have our suppliers, we know out of that whole pool, where is the risks, the question is how we can handle this. And one of the very often, if business is as usual, standard process is basically to move away or find an alternative, just to be prepared. If one company is not performing well, we can have a substitute. Now you can imagine, going back to those empty streets, if everything is shut down, moving to another party is extremely challenging. I'm not saying it's mission impossible. It is possible, but it's extremely complex. So given this situation, what can we do to help our suppliers? There's different kind of forecasts that can that state, and some people say that basically what we expect in the years from now, this year and next year, is the highest number of bankruptcies ever, and it's going to be the most critical moment in time that we have experienced. And I think the hardest crisis since the economic and financial crisis from 2008 and 9. That's not actually a positive outlook. And we see, unfortunately, a lot of companies that they shut down, people lose jobs. It actually is, it's a snowball effect. So what we can do is that we look into supplier financing and dynamic discounting solutions. I'm not sure if you are familiar with them, but both solutions allow us to have more flexibility in payment behavior to our suppliers. You see that tight relationship between physical supply chain management and financial supply chain management. C2FO, which is again our fintech company that we work with, and they are a provider of a marketplace, a global marketplace for dynamic discounting. They made that assessment that on a daily basis, there is $43 trillion trapped in accounts receivable, in payments, in documents that are actually invoices waiting to be paid for all of the suppliers in all of the supply chains across the globe. And that money can be released, that could be unlocked. And supplier financing and dynamic discounting are both ways to do it. So instead of standard payment behavior that you normally run the business and you have standard fixed payment terms of 60, 75, maybe 90 days, what those solutions do is when the invoice is approved, and after maybe 1 to 10 days, it depends on the speed of that process, that invoice is already available for payment and it can be paid at any point in time on request of the supplier at a very preferable conditions that we also adjusted right now in midst of coronavirus to enable it to our suppliers, that they can basically benefit from having early cash at hand. There are, of course, governmental programs. There are programs like Paycheck Protection Program, different financial relief programs, which are across the globe in different governments, but not all companies can qualify for them. Not all of the financial relief also is sufficient to survive. So any of those solutions basically help to survive. And even if we don't do it as standard, we can open this up and allow more companies to make use of this, even for that period of time when it's needed most. So again, as a response to risk, it's a great closure that hopefully can also help our suppliers in the coming months to perform and help us deliver us so far, because we really deliver on our promise. And all of those elements helped us satisfy our customers. This is definitely one of those solutions. Yeah, so just to summarize, and I know it's a lot of material, it's like a crash course in business continuity and risk, but business resilience definitely is key for us to meet our customers' and patients' needs. Supply chain visibility, risk transparency, financing solutions are all key to foresee the risk, manage that, and respond to it properly and timely. This is all of the insights very shortly from what's actually going on and what's the challenges of companies like us that we have to face to support, to treat the coronavirus. So you can see now what's happening from behind the scenes. But before I close, and I think I have maybe 1 or 2 minutes still, I actually wanted to share with you as well some of my personal takeaways. We are here in the Women in Tech conference, which I find so significant. I think enabling access to more women in the technology environment is so key. And we need that diversity, and we need it more. And you see that technology, innovation, solutions, digitization is basically the way forward. There is no other way that things can be managed on the business side effectively. So wherever you are, in whatever stage in your career, follow your passion. Don't give up. Follow your dreams. Stay on track on what you want to do, and you will get it. Be creative and curious and bold. Like, go beyond your boundaries, go beyond your own current experience. Just learn, stay open-minded, and seek for new ways of how different solutions can help businesses. Because we need that. What we know today not necessarily is the same as we will know in 10 years from now. And things are changing so fast. Let's stay on track. And last thing is, commit to your excellence and become the inspiration for others. I'm here because of my passion and because of that reason that I actually want to share that message with others as well. 10, 20 years from now, some of you will actually do the same, because you might be also in an early stage in your career. You might be actually looking what's the next step for you as well. But whatever you do, keep to your excellence and inspire others, so that in some years from now you can do the same to younger generations. And like my daughter, because she will be definitely looking up to some role models. Stay there, be there. Women in Tech is a movement that has started, and let it grow. I think that's it from me right now. I don't know, Anna, if there's any questions or if you have time for questions.
Hi,
But that's
Val.
basically
That was
all.
very interesting, very inspiring. I really loved how you paired the professional experience of yours with some personal tips. I really loved what you said, follow your passion, stay creative, stay curious, commit to excellence, and be an inspiration for others, and try to do something that will make an impact in the world, right? And be a role model for our daughters, for our sisters, for our
Absolutely.
for the younger generation, and for everyone. Thank you very much for this very interesting talk.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good day. And
thank you, and all good the best, and good luck with the rest days of the conference.
For your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.